Alright, well, it's not very often that a game specifically asks me to grab a coffee to enhance playing it, but I usually do it anyway. So, I don't know. This game looks like it's going to be super interesting. I don't know how long it's going to be, but I'm going to try to play through as much of it as I can in one sitting. I don't know how I'll chop this up. It's also pretty dark. It's got some really dark themes to it. Just so whoever's watching is aware, there's some fucked up shit. So if you don't want to watch some fucked up shit and you get triggered by that or something, then this is not the video for you. So fair warning out of the way, let's start a new game. Let's play it on hard mode, and if we start getting our asses kicked, then I'll change it back. But we're going to start off on hard. There was an urban legend. Write your troubles down on a note. Hold it in your hand at midnight and pray, God, please help me. Then God will hear your plea and change your fate. It was only a legend, though, that has gone viral for a brief period of time. Excerpt from Modern Urban Legends. Alrighty then. That's a creepy doll. ... Ugh, my head hurts. Where am I? What happened? You finally woke up. That is a weird-ass dog thing. I like his little collar, though. I've been waiting for so long, I was beginning to worry that you might never wake up. It's a talking dog. And you... Are you my pet? My neighbor's dog, Fluffy. My neighbor's dog, Fluffy? Eye roll. How did you come up with a lousy name like Fluffy? Besides, we don't even have a neighbor. But I still think he looks like a Fluffy. Wait, what do you mean by no neighbor? Have you lost your memories? Lost? My memories? Yeah, you fell down the stairs yesterday. Then you passed out. I suspected you might have hit your head. I fell? But it's not hurting anywhere. Anyway, let's both settle down a little. How about a quick test? Now look into my big beautiful eyes and tell me, what is my name? Fluffy? Fluffy my ass! Well, I guess you really did lose your memories. My name is Will. Sometimes I go by Willie. Willie? Yes, Willie. Oh my god. The Willie puns. Willy Wonka? No, it's just Willie. I don't own a chocolate factory. Also, don't you know that chocolate is dangerous for dogs? Oh wait, I'm not a dog. Oh boy, it seems worse than I thought. Listen to me carefully. I am not a dog, and you're not a human. That doesn't sound right. We are gods. What? Yes, that's right, we are gods. How do you know that I was thinking, or what I was thinking just now? I'm a god. Of course I know. As gods, it's our job to change the fate of the humans who ask us for help. Humans encounter all kinds of trouble in their lives, and sometimes they pray to us, hoping for some kind of miracle, as they call it. We can help them and grant their wishes. Or not. It's all up to you, of course. Wait. Stop babbling so fast. I didn't understand what you're saying at all. I'm not babbling, you're just too slow. You know what? Let's get started with a job orientation, shall we? Come over here. It's time to do some work. Wait, are we starting already? I still don't have a clue what's going on. Besides, didn't you just tell me that we're gods? What do gods have to do work? Don't lie to me, just because I've lost my memories. I was not lying. In any case, if you don't finish today's work, we won't have any dinner tonight. Brutal. This guy that's a god and a dog is a hard tasker, man. Fine. See that small red box? That is a message from the human today. Alright, let's see what she has got herself into this time. We just click that. Alright, give me a moment. Peoples. We look like to be Gucci. What does that do? Wow. There's lots of paths, I guess. We can save here. We don't need to, though. I don't think. I want to go home. My name is Lee Wen. I'm a senior at Yinigan High School. Today I went to play tennis for the first time since I had moved to my new place at a nearby tennis court. It was a very ill-maintained court, so barely anyone ever used it. Wow, I really like the art in this. The light over the tennis court was maintained by some of the residents themselves. The dim light bulb kept making a buzzing noise. 1, 2, 3. I just hit all 30 of the balls that I had, so I picked up the now empty basket. I walked to the other side of the court and collected the balls before hitting them all again. No one was on the tennis court. All I could hear was the sound of the balls hitting the racket and one of them bouncing off the ground. The light bulb flickered twice, then went out. I picked up most of the balls and left the court, walking towards a small alley. I had walked through it earlier on my way to the court. The alley was always dark, no matter what time of day it was. I kept humming to myself quietly in my head, just to be less scared. I arrived at my apartment when I suddenly realized that my keys were not in my pocket. I tried to think back. I must have left them at the tennis court. If the light hadn't suddenly gone out, I would have noticed that they were not on me. Well, this sucked. It was too late to go back to the court, not to mention that I might not even be able to find it anyway without the light. A desk lamp was on in the manager's office, as was a radio, but nobody was in there. I stood outside the window and waited for a long time, but Uncle's son, who was supposed to be on duty tonight, never showed up. The motion sensor lights in the hallway kept turning on and off every few minutes. I was beginning to feel scared. A late night talk show was on. The hosts were talking about a popular urban legend that had also been making the rounds at school too. It said that if you wrote a note to God in the middle of the night, then God would solve all of your problems for you. Jing was really into this stuff. Well, if such a God really exists, then maybe he or she could help unlock the door for me. Or make Uncle's son come back to his office soon. Please, please. Lee Wen. Alright. So we just need to, find her keys for her? Okay, so we need to help her either unlock the door or make Uncle's son come back to his office. Well, do people always write to gods just because they forgot their keys? Not always, no. But humans are exceptionally annoying. You'll see a lot more random nonsense of all kinds in the future. Forget about why she asked for our help for now. Let's take a look at how we may help her. Now, use this pen I just gave you. We can slice this letter into several pieces. Now see, some of these pieces are black and some of them are white. To prevent logical chaos, some of these pieces cannot be removed. These pieces are designated in black. Meanwhile, the white pieces can be moved anywhere, with one exception. No white pieces can go past the first or last piece. Okay. Now that you understand the limitations in moving these pieces, you may feel free to move the white pieces around. After you rearrange the white pieces, these events will happen exactly as you want in the human world. If your rearrangement has altered the previous causal links within the events, naturally the ending of the letter will be changed. Well, that's about it. What? Are you telling me that I could change what has happened to the human by moving these sentences around? Exactly. Isn't it straightforward? Oh gosh, that is so awesome. Can you do it too? Only the person who is holding the pen is capable of doing this. Go ahead, give it a try. Once you make your decision, just click OK. So we can move these. It's only 2 we can move right now. And we can reset it if we need to. Boom. Just like that. Okay. The alley was always very dark to begin with, and with the light gone, it had become pitch black. I couldn't even see my hands in front of my face. I kept having the feeling that something was going to happen. Scenes from the horror movies and homicide show I'd seen suddenly flashed through my head. Since I was too scared, I turned around and picked another longer way home. The detour was a crowded and lively street. It was full of people hanging out and waiting in front of bars, and a lot of arcades were still open. I was planning to head straight home and go to bed, but I saw the latest version of stuffed Sir Spotty through the window of an arcade. There's some text highlighted in blue. That means it's a term archived in our dictionary. The humans' letters often include some special terms related to their day-to-day lives. These terms will be highlighted. Since we are gods, there's nothing we don't understand. Therefore, whenever we encounter one of these strange terms, a definition for them will automatically appear in our dictionary. We may either click on the highlighted blue text to see an explanation for that specific term, or browse all of the archived terms in the dictionary. By the way, similar to the dictionary, we also keep a record of the profiles of everyone who has written to us. All you need to do is click on their header pictures in the letter selection screen to read about them. Oh wow, being a god is so convenient, you're telling me. A cartoon cat character by British artist Kevin Clifford. It became a global phenomenon because of its uniquely styled and laser-sharp eyes. Its success lifted Clifford out of poverty, and he became a worldwide sensation. According to Kevin, the inspiration of the character came to him during a short trip. Okay. Unfortunately, it was not for sale. I had to get it out of a claw machine, and I really wasn't good at those. I spent almost all the cash I had on me, but I didn't even come close, even once. Miss, we're about to close. Please check your belongings and don't leave anything behind. I lowered my head in disappointment. I noticed that there was a bottle of some kind of drink on the counter that had appeared out of nowhere. Perhaps somebody had forgotten it there. I picked it up and threw it in the trash on my way out. I got home and turned on the light. All the boxes I had moved in 2 days ago were lying all over the floor. Tomorrow I'll unpack them tomorrow. I'm too exhausted now. At least the shower felt great. I got out of the shower, climbed into bed, and immediately fell asleep. Good night. Okay, look what you did. Now it's the alley that has a broken bulb instead of the tennis court. Really? So that's what's changed, okay. Therefore, the girl would not have left her keys at the dark tennis court. Even though it was only a tiny change, you have indeed changed her fate. More importantly, you may have changed more than what we are seeing now. The impact of this tiny event could last for a long time, maybe even influence her entire life. A chain reaction like this is called the butterfly effect in the human world. We still can't be certain of how big the impact of her future is going to be. But keep in mind that our power has a potentially dangerous side to it. We must never abuse it. I understand. Well, we are done with this letter. Let's go back and see if there are more. Nice. Being a god is so easy. Haha, don't get too excited. You still have a lot to learn. I fetched the letters for you up until now. From now on, you should be getting your own letters. I have placed a mailbox at the bottom left corner of the screen. If the flag is up by the mailbox, it means there are new letters inside. Did you hear a sound like a ding ding just now? That is the new letter notification. Whenever you hear it, that means some new letters have arrived. If you processed all of the letters at hand, then go check the mailbox. Got it. Alright, I guess we check the mailbox. We have 2 letters. The last words, and this one, Rose and a doll. I have a feeling this one's not going to be good. These 2 are connected? Interesting. Okay. Sometimes we might see multiple messages from 2 or more people at the same time. Why do humans have so many problems? In cases like this, you have to read through both messages in one breath before we can start working on them. What? What are you doing? I'm trying to see how long I can hold my breath. I cannot do that. I don't think I could finish 2 letters in one breath. It's just a metaphor. It better be. Well, what should I do to find the other letter after reading the first one? After reading one letter, you might see the next letter option. Whenever you need to switch between the 2 letters, just use the next letter to switch back and forth. Alright, I'll start now. This sounds bad. It's been about 10 years. I had been cursed since the incident. Every time I picked up my paintbrush, my mind would start tormenting me, wreaking havoc. For 10 years, I hadn't been able to paint anything. I was suffering, and I deserved it. By now, I had spent all my savings, yet I was still alive. A friend was kind enough to set me up with a teaching job at a high school, teaching the art class. I would start tomorrow. It wasn't particularly well paying, but for someone who had been living without power, water, or heat in his apartment, it was like a burning pit of charcoal in the middle of a blizzard. I was really grateful to my friend. Ironically, I had just bought myself some charcoal earlier today. I thought I might be able to leave something worthwhile to the world as a painter before I died. Yes, I wanted to make one of those final masterpieces. I set up my easel. 1 hour passed. 2 hours. 3 hours. I had to put down the brush. Even if I managed to paint something, how would it be different from all the other garbage in this room? It would just be another piece of soulless trash, just like me. All trash. I poured the coal into a basin and I put it on the bedroom floor. I put on my best clothes, I carefully made my bed, and I lit the coals. I tried the doorknob and I realized the door was not locked. I chuckled. That was careless of me. I double-checked all the doors and windows, making sure that all of them had been locked and sealed. I couldn't take any chances. I lay down on my bed. All I could see was her face. Here I come, honey. Sorry for making you wait so long. God, I am ready. Please take me away. When the Zaroin. Brutal. That's gotta be like the worst way to kill yourself. To light the room on fire around you. Yeah, that's... You wouldn't go very fast, and if you accidentally lived, your life would be so awful. Roses and a doll. The apartment building I had just moved into was quite old. It didn't have an elevator, so I had to climb the stairs every day. As usual, it was already past midnight when I got back from tennis practice. I noticed something at my door as soon as I walked into the 4th floor hallway. Was that a bouquet of roses? And the Sir Spotty toy I had seen in the arcade a few days ago. I had a sudden sickening sinking feeling of anxiety. I had been getting strange emails starting the day before yesterday. This was the first one. I've been watching you for a long time. Right back to me. Creepy face, I guess. At first, I thought maybe someone had sent it to the wrong address by accident, or it could have been some random phishing email, so I didn't pay any attention to it. But the next day, I received another one. Please write back to me. I had no idea what those weird symbols mean, and whoever had written these emails seemed to think that we knew each other. My cell phone suddenly buzzed in my pocket. I had a new email. I clicked on the email app with a shaking finger. We shall finally meet soon. I couldn't understand those symbols at all, but the words in the middle. All of a sudden, I felt a sudden chilling on my back as if I was being watched by someone or something. But my body had frozen up, and I didn't dare turn around. I looked into the reflection in the glass of the window in front of me, trying to see if there was anything behind me. There wasn't. I was just being paranoid. Still, I decided to go spend the night at Jing's place just in case. I walked towards the staircase, but then I heard it. Footsteps coming upstairs, closer and closer. Who could it be at this hour? Could it be the one who had written those emails? I immediately turned around and ran back towards my apartment, but I lived alone. What if they broke in? He would force me into a corner, pull a chainsaw out from behind him, and cut me to pieces. Oh God, no. I stopped at the door of my neighbor, room 414. I choose you. Help me. No matter how hard I knocked, nothing happened. I tried not to cry so much that I wouldn't be heard, but tears were already streaming down my face. Calm down, Li Wen. The footsteps stopped at the 4th floor and were now moving towards me. I made a turn, and there's only one more turn between us. It was too late for me to hide in my own apartment now. I held my tennis racket up, and I swung it down as hard as I could, with my eyes closed, when the person around the corner. The person I hit wobbled and fell down the stairs. It was Uncle Sun. He seemed to just be going around the building and picking up the trash. Uncle Sun was laying on the ground, and he was not moving at all. Oh my God, what have I done? God, please help me. Please, please. Li Wen. Well, shit. She killed Uncle Sun. Alright. When there's more than one letter, the white pieces can be moved left and right as well, in addition to up and down. Since it will impact the fate of both people, you must be careful when making your decisions. Jesus, okay. This is the only place to put it. We can't put it there or there, so... Okay. That's all we can do. What was that noise? I struggled to sit up in my bed. My head felt like it was going to explode. Damn it. Just a little longer and God would have taken me. Whoever made that noise, be it a burglar, a utility guy, I would never forgive them. Excuse me, sorry for the intrusion. I sneaked into my neighbor's apartment. It was completely dark inside and smelled funny. It was hard to breathe in this apartment. I wondered who would live in such a place. I shut the door right behind me. I accidentally knocked over some jars that were shelved next to the door, and they made some very loud noises. Still, nobody responded. I suppose there wasn't really anyone home. I looked out from the peephole while I held my breath. A thin, old, humpbacked man walked by the door with empty plastic bottles in his hands. It was just Uncle Sam, the manager. Phew. This one is easy too. As Shakespeare once said, security in mortals' chiefest enemy, which could mean that overconfidence is man's greatest enemy. What? Who? Shakespeare. He is one of the greatest writers in human history. Overconfidence is man's greatest enemy. Well, but I am no man. Okay, then you Then do you know how to write this person's name in Chinese? Haha, idiot. It's written as... yeah. Okay, I get your point. It's only easy because you're just getting started. You will see soon enough. Okay, I have a feeling she just got into a bad guy's house. What does this yellow star mean? When you see a yellow star, it means you have unlocked all the possible endings of that particular event. Oh, should I try to collect all the yellow stars? Oh no, that won't be necessary. Our job is just to help the humans with their troubles. No matter how many times we try or how many endings we unlock, for the humans there's only one ending to each story that they will ever know. So it doesn't really matter whether or not you unlock all of the endings. In that case, what is the star here for? Well, I know you're asking me, but to be honest, I don't really know either. Well, helpful dog is helpful. Well, nobody's died quite yet. But, this guy's probably gonna be upset that he wasn't successful. Alright. Somebody had ruined my plan. Damn it. I sat up. I could barely stand. The entire room was spinning, and I felt so nauseated that I almost threw up. Just a little longer, and I would have seen her again. The room was completely dark since I hadn't been able to pay my utility bill for a while. I lifted my foot and began to take a step, but I tripped over my easel. The brushes and the paints fell all over the place. I crouched down and slowly started to pick them up again. It took me a while as I was so exhausted. I put out the fire and opened a window. I stumbled upon my flashlight and pressed the button. Oh. I heard a deafening explosion. Was that a gas explosion? I thought I saw a slender figure of somebody fall down in the fire before I passed out. When I woke up, the doctor told me that there was a 17-year-old girl who had been sent to the hospital along with me. She hadn't made it. Fortunately, however, I was still alive. I had third-degree burns all over my body. I lost my right arm and I couldn't speak. I couldn't even do something as simple as ask what the girl's name was. God, why? Why didn't you just kill me instead? When is Elrin? Jeez. So how do we change this? What caused the explosion exactly? I heard a deafening explosion. Gosh, how did this happen? I hadn't been able to pay my utility bill for a while. So they turned off his electricity. Maybe there was a gas leak? I lifted my foot and tried to take a step, but I tripped over my easel. I don't think we can save the girl, but we can save this guy from getting mutilated here. How do we reset this though? We don't want that there. Do we want him by the window? If he's by the window, could he... Yes, I think we want to... we want him to put out a fire and open the window. Okay, so since it's dark, first thing he does is turn on his flashlight. He puts his stuff into place, and then he puts out a fire and opens his window, which should stop the gas, right? That makes sense to me. I don't see... I think that's okay. I hope so. The night breeze was coming in through the window. I tried to take a deep breath, but I couldn't. Perhaps I'd spent too much time packing up those things earlier, and I had been poisoned too much. I held the flashlight in my hand and walked towards the doorway. I found a girl lying on the floor unconscious. Had she been poisoned too? I suddenly remembered a news story about people who had killed their neighbors by accident while attempting suicide by burning coals. I wanted to go back and call an ambulance, but I could not breathe anymore. If I could at least just open the door. I tried to reach for the handle, but it seemed to be getting farther away. Shit! Okay. So that wasn't right. So we need to open the window faster. We need to put out the fire first thing, don't we? Then... Huh? Some pieces are missing. Sometimes this happens. In this letter, the previous development led to a gas explosion. As a result, Wen Zaorin wouldn't be able to carry out his following actions. Therefore, the white pieces disappeared. Usually pieces will disappear when the subject of the actions described in the pieces is no longer active. This is not only confined to the sender of the letter, it could also be because of someone mentioned in the letter. Again, it depends. The important thing is to think about why they might disappear. Let's see. Well, I'm gonna save this while we're going strong here. Alright, let's jump back into this. Okay, why would that disappear? Is that a bad choice? Why would it disappear? Is it just because it... Do we just need to switch these two here? Like that? Is this the right combo? Who's there? I pressed the button on my flashlight in a hurry, and the white light almost blinded me. Ah! I saw a shadow fall to the ground. I quickly turned my light towards the sound and saw that it was a girl that I had never met before. I checked to see if she was still breathing. She was. I remembered a school picnic during my junior high years. I had done the same thing to scare a girl in my class. She didn't faint, even though I had done it intentionally. Kids today are so weak. I carried the girl to my ventilated bedroom and laid her down on my bed and pulled the sheet over her. I went back to the living room and picked up my paintbrush. I tried to remember her panicking face when she saw me. I suddenly had a new feeling, a feeling that I could paint something special this time. Yet, I just fell asleep with the brush in my hand while leaning against the wall. Nice one. Wow, that was so scary. I don't want to see anything else like that ever again. Well, if you do want to see it again, you can. While you're reading a letter, click on replay to review the entire letter again. Although, why can't we see all of these images? Aren't we just reading their letters? Technically, we're not actually receiving handwritten letters from the humans. You could think of these letters as a manifestation of their will. That's why it would include more than the text you are reading. Sometimes we will receive images of what they see or even how they feel. Wow, that's really amazing. Nice, so we got that. How do you feel? Oh, everything felt so unreal. Am I really a god? Have I always been living here? And has the sky outside always been red? It's even snowing outside. The weather is so weird. I have no memories of any of this. Is any of this even real? Of course, don't worry about it. Your memories will come back to you slowly. Anyway, don't you think this job is perfect for you? And it isn't too hard either, is it? That's true. It's more interesting than I thought. Well, it is interesting indeed. It's also rather serious. From now on, I won't repeat myself anymore. Some of my previous instructions can be found in the help menu. The content in the help menu will also grow as you learn more about your job, although you might not be able to find everything you need in there. For instance, if you forgot or didn't pay attention to what I told you, you might never be able to hear it again. So, the trivially important information as you see here will be highlighted in orange text. Things in orange text are extremely important, but when you see something in orange, you should slow down your reading and pay extra attention. Now, answer fast. Which of the following words were highlighted in orange in what I just said? Fuck. Oh no. Wasn't this one. I think it was this one. Pay extra attention? See, I knew this was going to happen. You have to remember the importance of these orange texts. I'm sorry! As long as you pay attention to them, they will be very helpful in completing your tasks. In other words, if you don't, you're likely to get stuck in some of the more challenging tasks. We're going to restart the game now to teach you a lesson so that you understand how serious I am. What? I noticed that you have already saved your progress manually. That's a great habit. However, if you haven't saved for a while, it could also be useful to take advantage of the autosave function. It will take you back to the most recently autosaved data point. Well, that's all for now. Well, I say goodbye for the moment. I hope I see you again soon. I'll be here waiting. No, our friend is gone. Well, I think I'm gonna leave you guys here. I'm gonna continue playing this, so I hope you enjoyed this episode so far. I think this game is pretty interesting. It's definitely a lot of reading, so there's quite a bit to tackle. Some of the stories are a little interesting. Some of the logic doesn't always make sense, but we're playing on the hardest difficulty, so that's to be expected. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this episode of Will a Wonderful World. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.